Good morning, friends. I am Teddy Hicks, and it is July 7th, and I'm here to read the affirmation from my book, My Life Gets Better Every Day. Today's affirmation is, I accept myself right now. Is that a totally radical idea? That you could just be okay as you are right in this moment without needing to change a thing? What if you could instantly release all those ideas that you are at all unsatisfactory in any way and completely embrace all the warts, lumps, skills, fears, beauty, energy, wisdom, and light that make you who you are right now? And what if you could keep doing that for your whole life, despite any setbacks or disappointments that come along? What if you knew deep down inside that you were totally fine and always would be, no matter what happened in your life? Even if everyone doesn't like you, or you don't fit in with a popular crowd, or your life hasn't gone quite like you thought it would, you can still completely love and accept yourself exactly as you are, all the time, no matter what. Can you even imagine how wonderful that would feel? Love, Teddy. I think the thing that blows people's mind about this is that at some point you can realize that it actually is just a decision. All of the pressure that you've been putting on yourself to conform to be a certain way that people expect you to be, or that you think would make you more acceptable, or to look a certain way, or to, just do anything that you aren't currently doing right now, is all like self-imposed pressure, right? Like you've picked up all these messages around you in the world and you've decided that there's something about you that's flawed, that doesn't fit in, that isn't right, and that you need to do something about. And you are perfectly capable and allowed to just say, I'm not going to do that anymore. I like who I am. I may not feel like I'm perfect right now. I may not love everything about me right now, but I love myself and I accept that this is where I am in my journey. And I think that's really what it is. You're not saying this is how it's going to be forever. This is like what I love. This is what I would choose. None of that. You're just saying, I accept that this is where I am on my journey at this moment right now. And it's safe for me to fully love myself, despite the fact that I'm not perfect by anybody's standards, including my own. And that's a radical shift that makes a huge difference in the way that you move around the world. It really does. When you love and accept yourself, people pick up on a totally different energy about you. When you're not constantly self-deprecating or criticizing yourself or trying to be something that you're not currently, that's a totally different level of like confidence and self-assuredness that changes your experience in the world. People respond to you differently. You feel different. You feel capable of doing different things because there's none of that self-doubt holding you back, right? I always use this example of like, you don't need to look very far in the world to see people in positions of power or success that don't really like quote unquote deserve to be there. The superpower that they have is that they feel entitled to it because they don't have all of that self-doubt, right? They, for whatever reason, they believe that they are good enough to do whatever they want to do. And so they pursue anything that sounds good to them and have all this magical success that isn't a result of necessarily hard work or being incredibly smart or, more talented or skilled or knowledgeable than anybody else. It's just because they have that internal fire telling them that they're allowed to do that. They're capable of doing that. They're entitled to have what they want. And that all comes from a really clear foundation of self-acceptance. When I was in treatment for eating disorder, my therapist, of course, everybody there is just like thinking that there's a problem with food that needs to be resolved. And I'll never forget, this was way back in the beginning when this was like my first foray into therapy and like exploring myself. And she said, this isn't really about food. And I was like, okay, well then what is it about? I mean, of course it's about food. And she said, it's about self-acceptance. And in that, I did not even understand what she meant in that moment. That's how new that concept was to me. But that advice has just sort of trickled down into my soul over the years. And the more work I do on myself and the more I try to help other people with their issues, that is really the foundation of everything, is self-acceptance. I mean, you just have to, it's not about making yourself be how you think you should be. It's about accepting yourself right now at every moment in your life, right? It may not be perfect, may not be what you would choose. this is what's happening right now, and I truly love and accept myself regardless of all of my flaws and, you know, the fact that I'm still working. This is where I am on my journey, and I accept it. It's radical and it's really powerful. And I hope that you can give yourself a little bit of that gift today, just to completely accept where you are right now and who you are right now and how you're doing things right now. And know that it can shift, it can change, it can improve. But you're worthy of complete love and self-acceptance right in this moment. I hope that's helpful for you today. And I will see you back tomorrow with the next one. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are so inclined. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.